If we went to high school with these characters, would we just be voted off? We wouldn't be in the yearbook anymore.
Hey y'all, it's LJ here, owner and founder of Smart Moms Plan Disney and Smart Moms Travel. We are so glad you're here for another episode of the Smart Moms Plan Disney podcast. Now, here's your host, Allie.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Smart Moms Plan Disney podcast. I am so excited today to be joined by Stacy and Becki. I, of course, am Allie, and we have something so fun we are going to do today. It's going to be a little bit of a debate and just some really fun information for people that are planning Disney. But before we dive in, we want to remind all of our listeners that you can stop what you're doing right now. Like and subscribe wherever you are listening. It's going to help us out so much so that we can continue to bring new episodes to you. You're going to get the new episodes the minute they dropped. It's a win for everyone. So stop what you're doing, like and subscribe. And just in a couple of weeks, we have another mailbag episode coming up. We are looking for your tips about park bags, things that you bring to Disney World or Disneyland with you when you take your family, or maybe when you take your adult trip, or whatever type of trip you're taking. You can find that link in our show notes today. Go ahead and fill it out. We can't wait to hear some of your ideas. Maybe they'll spark ideas in us, and certainly for our listeners. So we appreciate that. And Patreon. We have a Patreon community. We are growing that community every single day and having so much fun talking and connecting with listeners, people that have been supporting the Smart Moms Plan Disney podcast, either newly or all along. We welcome everyone, and we hope to see you there. You can find that information in our bio as well. Stacy and Becki, are you all ready to dive in today?
Oh, yeah. This is going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
Characters. I'm so excited. Feeling very retro, thinking back about as childhood, but also thinking about like classics and memories for my kids.
Yeah, we love to make your trip planning as easy as possible. And some of the things that may include are understanding dining, which we've talked a lot about on the show, and understanding what navigating Disney World looks like once you're actually there. I think one of the biggest things that people want to plan for when they're going to Disney, especially with kids, are character meet and greets, right? You want to know, who am I going to meet? Where am I going to meet them? What are they going to be dressed as? And typically character meet and greets, especially if you have little ones and especially if you've never been, are high on that priority list. And so we are today going to be talking about the different character meet and greets you can find and experience in Magic Kingdom specifically. I do love that across all of Disney World, even in the resorts, but definitely at the parks, you can see unique characters, maybe that you can only find in one specific park, or you may be able to find some characters in every park, but no character is ever the same. You're going to find them dressed really fun ways or in really, really cool environments just based on where you're meeting them. So today we're focusing on Magic Kingdom, who you can see. Can you get a photo with them? Can you take home an autograph? You know, what is it going to look like when you approach that character? But we thought of a really fun way to do it. I don't know about you all, but did you have senior superlatives in your yearbooks when you were in high school?
We definitely did have them. I did not get one. We had a pretty big class. I probably should have gotten like most likely to get married at a young age because we were the very first couple out of our graduating class to get married. I got married 2 days after my 19th birthday. Is that crazy? Stacy, did you get one?
I got married when I was 19 as well. So, oh, goodness. Yeah, we had senior superlatives, and I was nominated and voted as most congenial. And so that's in my little senior yearbook, which is such an honor with Eric Motley. Shout out to Eric Motley, wherever you are, bud. We had a great time together.
Oh, that's so funny.
Perfectly, Stacy. Like that is who you are.
Oh, thanks.
So that adds up really well. I got voted most likely to succeed in my superlative. And my brother had gotten voted that before me. And so I was just really competitive and knew that that's the superlative I wanted because it's the one my brother got. And so I worked really hard and I was thrilled when I was voted most likely to succeed. So today we have some really fun superlative categories. Some you may have heard before, some that are going to be really specific to Disney. We took the time to nominate the characters we felt were going to fit best in these categories, and we're going to pick some winners. And at the end of it, leave all of you with some really great information about where you can find and meet these characters. And If you disagree with the people that we think win or the characters that we think win these categories, we want to hear about it. Let us know on social media. Find us at Smart Moms Plan Disney Podcast and tell us where we got it right or wrong. Couple interesting things about Magic Kingdom. It's important to know if it's your first Disney World vacation that character meet and greets can change. So just because we're talking about specific ones today on the show doesn't mean that a random character may not pop up. That does happen. And it doesn't mean you can absolutely with certainty count on a character being in the park the day you're there. These are typically there, but if Cinderella can't find her other glass slipper, she may not make it that day. There are reasons and emergencies that character meet and greets can change on a whim, and it is important to be flexible. One thing that's going to be very important for you is to know and understand how to navigate your My Disney Experience app. You can always in real time filter your map to characters. So it'll show you exactly who's out, who's going to be there that day, what time you can find them. But for purposes of today's show, these are the ones that we have seen very consistently. Can pretty much rely on them being there every day. Of course, like I said, they can change, but these are the ones that have a really good shot of being where they say they're going to be.
I think it's cool that you can also experience characters in more than one way. Like you can get at your character dining. Magic Kingdom has multiple opportunities for that. The parades, the shows, so many ways to get it. But I love that Disneyland effect of roaming characters is kind of making its way to Magic Kingdom. We're seeing a lot more characters out just walking around the parks.
Notably, I would say I have seen Mary Poppins and Bert roaming the park a couple of times. My past few times I've been there, they've never stopped and given an autograph or even really taken a photo. It's been we're walking through and sort of back by the carousel and around towards the front of the castle, which makes perfect sense for them. I would love if you could get that autograph, but I think even just seeing them really puts you in oh, right, I'm at Disney World. I'm in another world right now, quite literally. And I love that. I love the roaming. So the ones you can stop and get the photos and the autographs and the experiences with are great. But those spontaneous moments that you can't plan for are equally as wonderful.
I think there's a really special, and it makes you feel like you're in the right place at the right time kind of feeling. And I tell you, I would lose my mind if I saw Mary Poppins and Bert at the carousel. And I never ride the carousel, but if I saw them on there, I would be totally wanting to get on there with them. That would bring me back to my childhood so quickly. I would love it.
We have a really cool Mary Poppins story with our kids as well. We were sitting on Main Street one time. It was kind of between the parade and the fireworks lull on Main Street. We walked down that little alley that's kind of off of the side of Main Street, kind of where the silhouettes get cut. And Bert and Mary Poppins were down there one time and no one else was down there. We seriously sat with them for about 20 minutes and they talked to our kids, talked to them about their dreams, like those instantaneous, like it wasn't about getting a picture. It wasn't about getting the autograph. It's just, how do you replace those kind of memorable moments?
You can't.
I think that's amazing. Oh, I love that. That's so great.
Yeah, this is just continuing on with your trend of like the greatest spontaneous character meets of all time.
It's amazing. And I also feel like character meet and greets is like the perfect blend of bringing Disney from home to Disney in the parks, right? We know these characters. We love these characters because of the movies and the TV shows they might be on Disney Plus, whatever. It's connecting that Disney that we get when we have the Disney blues at home. Our kids fall in love with them. For my kids, it was like Macy watching My Friend Tigger and Pooh on repeat when she was little. That when we go and meet Winnie the Pooh and Tigger in the parks, it's like the magic is there.
Yeah, that's so great. Yeah. The thing is that when people go to Disney World, you're thinking about the rides, the attractions, right? We have to ride all these things. Meeting the characters are arguably where the core memories are made even more. And you can't do that outside of Disney World at all. I have a local amusement park and we have some really, really amazing attractions. Of course, not iconic like the ones at Disney, but we have other opportunities to ride coasters and different attractions and things when we're outside of Disney. But meeting Mickey Mouse, that happens one place. And I love it. You have to be strategic with it because the lines can get long. You only get a certain amount of time with each character when you actually get to the front of the line. So strategizing when it makes sense in your day, utilizing lightning lanes for those that have the offer, which we'll talk about, is important to keep in mind.
I also really love you're talking about, like, I'm already getting teary-eyed about this. This is so silly. But post-COVID, when those hugs came back, oh my goodness. Mickey was the very first one that we met that was a face-to-face, like you could hug them. I went up and hugged Mickey, and I probably hugged him for like a minute. Disney kind of has this philosophy, right, that the character's not the first one to let go. And I feel like that long line probably stopped moving for a long time because so many people just wanted to get that hug.
I think I might have been there day one. I think it was the very first day he was back when I was in the park, and it was pretty outstanding. It was amazing. So, are you ready to dive in? And we're going to give these superlatives and help our listeners know where to find the characters, know how to make the character lover in your family as happy as can be in Magic Kingdom, and have a little fun while we're doing it.
Let's do it.
Maybe we'll have to make a Mom's Plan Disney podcast yearbook at the end of all this.
It might be happening. It might be happening.
I'm going to start with the first category. This is a classic that most people have probably seen in their yearbook, and Carla lost this category. Our co-host Carla was nominated for Best Dressed in her high school yearbook. She didn't get it. She's still pretty well dressed.
She is. I wonder if that like has upped her game, because she's like, you know what? I will never not be best dressed ever again, because she is who I know is best dressed everywhere we go.
100%.
She has high school trauma. She didn't get named Best Dressed, and so now it's her daily mission. Our nominees for Best Dressed in Magic Kingdom are going to be Minnie Mouse, Jasmine and Aladdin as a duo, and Elena of Avalor. Minnie Mouse is back in Pete's Silly Sideshow. So if you're looking to meet Minnie Mouse at Magic Kingdom, you are going to either take the train back to the circus area, or you're going to walk and make your way back there during the day. And something that's fun about Minnie at Magic Kingdom is she's actually a poodle trainer in the sideshow circus. Her name is Minnie Magnifique. She's very cute. She has on a pink dress with little pink things in her hair, and she's in front of a bunch of poodles that are also pink, and there are stars on it. It's not the classic Minnie outfit, but it is the classic Minnie cut, I would say. And it's pink, which, my youngest daughter's obsessed with pink, as many little girls and boys are. And so they may love that about this outfit. I like how unique it is. I like how fun it is. She will sign autographs. That's important. So if you're bringing an autograph book or some sort of photo frame or t-shirt or whatever it is you're having signed, she does sign. And there's not a cast member to take photos with Minnie Mouse, but they do have that new sort of photo box feature where you can smile at it and it will take your picture. So that'll go to Memory Maker if you do have Memory Maker.
Now, there is usually a cast member there that will help take your photos on your camera, on your phone, if you don't have Memory Maker. But yeah, there's not a Memory Maker photographer back there.
Yeah. So she's super cute as Minnie Magnifique back there. Jasmine and Aladdin are meeting together in Adventureland in Agrabah, as it's called in the movie, where they live. Back by their attraction, the Flying Carpets of Aladdin, which we've talked about on the show. I actually love that ride. I think it's more fun than Dumbo because it has the wobble, sort of serpentine up and down motion.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. I like it. And they're back there meeting. The reason I like them nominated for Best Dressed is because, first of all, Jasmine was the first Disney princess, maybe the only still, to wear a two-piece, which my little girl heart loved. I just loved Jasmine's. She's not meeting in a two-piece now. She wears her one-piece outfit, which is also very gorgeous and ornate. But I love that she has that fashion change-up. And Aladdin, of course, uses his wishes to change his whole look as well. He can go from street rat to prince in the matter of one wish. So, I love them. And I have a funny story about Jasmine. This is my best character meet story personally, is when I was really little. I was probably definitely in elementary school when Aladdin came out, and that movie was so big. It was so popular. I still have a stuffed tiger that I've passed down to one of my daughters now, named Raja, from when I was little. So I had a pet hamster named Jasmine. I mean, this movie was everything to me. And the year we went to Disney, the first year that Jasmine was out meeting, we were at Hollywood Studios, back then MGM. The line was super long because she was the princess of the moment, and you were going to have to wait an hour to see her. I had on a pink Minnie Mouse little jacket, and my mom was like, "Allie, there she is." I looked up, I saw Jasmine. I did not see her line. I literally yanked my hand out of my mom's, ran as fast as I could, went under the ropes, and just jumped into Jasmine's lap. Cut the line. It's terrible. You could never do that now. And she stopped and met with me. She let me
Oh,
sit on her lap.
Oh,
I got the autograph. You could not do that now, but I did meet Jasmine that way when I was like 5. So I love her. I always have a special place for her. And then Elena of Avalor. She is in Fairy Tale Princess Hall. You're going to see rotating princesses. We'll talk about who throughout the episode today. She does have a lightning lane along with the other princesses in there. Princesses are high on the list at Magic Kingdom, especially. And if you're not planning to eat at Cinderella's royal table, the Fairy Tale Hall is your only opportunity to really meet a bulk of them. And they do sign autographs. Elena has the beautiful red dress with the gold sewn through it. And it's really, really beautiful and hairpiece to match. So that's it. Best dressed, Minnie Mouse, Jasmine and Aladdin, and Elena. What do y'all think?
I love Minnie as a character, but her poodle trainer outfit's not my favorite. However, she has a lot of great outfits. Have you guys seen that she wears pants on the Disney Cruise Line now? Like, that's forward progress for characters, right?
I love it. Yeah.
Yes, I think it's pretty awesome. But I love that we're talking Elena, because that fairy tale hall, when you're thinking Magic Kingdom, like just like you said, Allie, if you're not going to Cinderella's royal table, this is where Princess Central essentially is. However, this isn't an Epcot episode, but I think it's worthy of hinting at that if you want to meet princesses, Epcot's the park, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so best dressed from the Smart Moms Plan Disney podcast is going to go to Elena of Avalor. She's gorgeous, you guys. That dress is so beautiful. My daughters love Elena. Her show hasn't really been updated. Her show's on Disney Junior for listeners that may not know. And it's sort of an older show at this point, but she still remains a really prominent character. And she's really, really sweet when you meet her and absolutely stunning. Her dress is gorgeous. That's why she's winning Best Dressed. Okay, so I feel great about that. I'm excited. Becki, tell us what's up.
Finishing out that category, it's going to be interesting to see if people agree with us on this and like come to our social medias. Let's talk about this, because I think waving at Elena on that float, that princess float parade, she is just beaming on that. All right, new category. We are moving to Life of the Party. And for our nominees for Life of the Party is Tigger, Goofy, and Stitch. So Tigger is found at the Thoughtful Place by the Pooh ride. That's also where you're going to meet Pooh. That's not the only place you'll meet Tigger, though. He's also in Crystal Palace for a character meet, but we'll talk more about that. But for now, let's talk about Tigger when you're standing in line, running up and hugging him, bouncing, pretending like you're jumping all over the meet and greet area. Goofy is, how do we even say this? Great Goofini.
yeah.
He was at the Pete Silly Sideshow, that area that's back by the train station, back behind Fantasyland in the circus area. He is there with Donald. And it's good to make note when you're going to this Pete Silly Sideshow area, you're going to get in line for 2 out of the 4 characters. There's typically 4 characters back there. You're going to choose which 2 you want to do. And then if you want to meet the other 2, then you get back in line to meet the other 2. So it's going to be Minnie and Daisy, and then Goofy and Donald. Have the photo box there, autographs, just like we just talked about with Minnie back in that area. I also really love, if not everybody in your party wants to stand in line and meet Goofy back there, there's a really great shaded circus tent that you can plug in and charge your phone back there. So that area is fantastic. That Goofini, the great Goofini back there is the Daredevil sideshow character. Then finally, Stitch is often in Tomorrowland. He's more typically a walk around character. Sometimes he'll pose for photos, but typically he's more of a always on the move, playing around with kids, having a good time, dancing over in that stage area. Sometimes you'll see him over by the Buzz Lightyear area. We actually met Stitch at the Halloween party in Tomorrowland as well, and he was dressed up like Elvis. Oh my gosh, it was amazing.
Yeah, he's so cute at Halloween. I really like him dressed as Elvis. That's super fun. Now, when he was dressed as Elvis, he did not sign autographs there. Whenever there's a character that's not signing at the time, they will usually give a postcard type thing with their autograph on it, and it's a cute little picture. So there is something in place of autographs if they're not giving them, but I think he's particularly wonderful at the Halloween party.
I think that the line at the Thoughtful Place can sometimes get really long, and I always have a hard time waiting for that one. I kind of feel like if they're a priority, we hit Crystal Palace for Pooh and the gang. And I have to disagree with you, Becki. You said that place is wonderful. It's a wonderful area back at the circus. I'm still thinking the circus acts are adorable. I do think that where they're posing, the great Goofini is posing in front of like a cage, like a motorcyclist cage that you would see at the circus. And that actually is really cool. I just am still, as I've mentioned on many episodes, bitter that when you're back there, you're not meeting them in their houses of Toontown.
Yeah.
I just can't get over it. I won't get over it. I'm stubborn about it. It is cute, but it's not the best it could be.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all. I think that the houses, especially if you've been to Disneyland, the circus doesn't feel like the same vibe. It's great to get four characters in that one area, but more than anything in that area, more than the splash pad back that area is great for your little kids. But that shaded area to sit and recharge is, in my personal opinion, the highlight of that area.
Yeah, and I think the lines are not too terrible back there either, because I just don't think a lot of people are going back there. So it is a great way, I think, to meet some headliner characters. If you're not doing a character meal where you can meet them, it is a great opportunity to sort of take the time out of your day, because everybody wants to meet the Fab Five on their Disney trip. And if you're not planning to do it in a meal, that circus area is a good way to strategize for it, because I do think the lines are shorter. So I do think that has it going for it. My kids still love Stitch. Stitch holds on and stands the test of time, and generation after generation, people just love him.
All right. So life of the party. The winner is, do we do drum rolls, imaginary drum rolls on our podcast? The winner for life of the party is Stitch. I think that makes sense. He is all the energy all the time. You're going to have a great time when you're meeting Stitch.
Yeah, Stitch is a party, right? Think about Stitch riding a surfboard, dressing up, always singing and dancing. I really feel like every time you see him on that stage, he's on a stage for a reason, right? He's up on the Tomorrowland stage. He's commanding the audience. You're not even in line to get the autograph most of the time, right? You're just in line to gawk at him, have a lot of fun. And you want to have fun when you're with him. So it checks out. It's perfect.
Love it.
Great. Stacy.
All right. So our next category is the most Disney spirit. I think this is a super fun one, mainly because it's got my man, Mickey Mouse is going to be one of our characters up for the most Disney spirit. And then the other two, talk about competition. When you've got twins, or Chip and Dale twins? Chip and Dale.
Are they twins?
I don't know. Aren't they? I don't know.
Well, not identical. Definitely not identical, because we know the black and red. Yeah.
They're surely brothers.
Brothers, I think.
Okay. I don't know. They might be twins. But Chip and Dale are going to round out this category. So we have Mickey and Chip and Dale. And of course, Chip and Dale are going to be partnered up. You're not going to see one without the other. Right now, currently, and where I have seen them most recently, is in a little bit of a strange place. They're between Buzz Lightyear and Carousel of Progress. They're dressed as astronauts back there, and it's really cute, a little odd, but really cute. However, the reason they're up for this category is because they fit in anywhere, all over Disney World. You can see them in so many different places. Of course, we're highlighting Magic Kingdom right now, but they can pop up anywhere and they just fit in. They're super fun. They're very playful and friendly. And I think they really do give a spirit of Disney wherever they go. They show up in some of the resorts.
My favorite place I've ever seen Chip and Dale is just a couple weeks ago when me and my husband and our kids, our teenagers, were there. We were walking through Frontierland, and there was like this instantaneous, I didn't find it on the map. I didn't find it on the schedule. They had like a hoedown, like a dance party in the middle of the street, and Chip and Dale came out and they were wearing their little Western vests, and
so cute.
It is such like my favorite version of them.
So cute.
Yeah, they're adorable.
They will sign their autographs, which is really great. They will usually have the memory maker photographer with them in this particular area back in Tomorrowland. But like in the places where you talked about, they're not going to necessarily have them. And in some other places around Disney World, I know that they do not have the memory maker photographer. But in this particular one, they do. So in Tomorrowland, and they're super cute. But of course, we need to talk about Mickey. Mickey is going to be in the main town square. He's in this theater over there right as you enter from the train shed, as you're coming into Main Street and you're coming into the Magic Kingdom. He is in the building to the right. A lot of people are going to be in line there. You do need to be careful of your time when you're stepping into that line. Check your app to see how long the wait time is. There'll be signs up as well. I do think everybody should have their picture made with Mickey. It's very important. I think as part of your trip, you should have your picture made with Mickey Mouse. But be careful of your strategy for that. If you want to do it first thing in the morning, I don't know that that's necessarily your very best thing. It's tempting because it's right there as you're walking in. But do check that. Consider whether or not that time is the best for you or not. There are autographs, and he's so great about spending time with you. A lot of these character meet and greets, they'll have like a separate room. So it really is like a private meeting. You may have one or two other parties that are in there with you in line, but it is such a closed off space where you have some time to meet with Mickey Mouse. And I think that is really special, particularly for a family getting to go in there together. He does have a photo box now, so it's not the memory maker photographer, but there is a cast member in there with him. And Mickey wears the coolest clothes, right? He has some of the most magnificent outfits when he is in, what would you call his little, he's wearing a cape and like a little hat at this spot.
Sort of like the presenter, the ringleader of the entire park, right? The grand marshal.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. And for all of these things, and just because nobody can defeat Mickey Mouse in the most Disney spirit, we are awarding Mickey Mouse as the winner of the most Disney Spirit award today.
Yeah, it has to go to Mickey, right? He is Disney. And here's something interesting. I think it's important for listeners to know. I kind of think in terms of unique character meet and greets, Magic Kingdom probably loses that battle, right? Magic Kingdom is where you meet the classics. And because of the classic feel of the park and the classic characters that you're finding in the park, I feel like this is the park where I want to meet Mickey. You know what I mean? I mean, I want to see Safari Mickey at Animal Kingdom and him in his different iterations, anywhere you can meet him. Of course, that's fun. But that first trip, that only trip, that big family trip, you want the classic guy in the classic park. He is Disney spirit. And using the lightning lane is always a good strategy for him because that is, everybody feels that, right? I think it just ripples.
And I think that he's, in terms of most Disney spirit, Mickey you're going to meet in every park. Different version of him. He's just bringing the Disney magic.
That's right. So I think that's a good segue into our next one. And that is going to be our nominees for the friendliest character. And what's kind of funny is that at first you want to maybe laugh and think, oh, well, it's Disney and its characters and they're all friendly. But by nature, some of them are intentionally not friendly, and then that's part of the fun. But then there are the characters that stand out as being just the friendliest experience you can imagine. So our nominees for the friendliest character at Magic Kingdom will be Mirabelle, Rapunzel, and Winnie the Pooh. Mirabelle is a new addition to Magic Kingdom. She is meeting over at the Fairy Tale Garden, which is to the right of the castle. It's where, if you've been to Disney in the past couple of years, you may remember Merida was meeting. That's where Mirabelle is now. She's taken over that area and they have decorated it to look like her family, like her environment. It's really, really fun and colorful and bright. And she is greeting you with a really fun, colorful, bright smile. It has a pretty long line. Usually it does not have a lightning lane. She is taking the time to talk and mingle with the people that are coming to meet her and signing autographs. And there is a photo pass photographer. So it's a pretty complete experience. And it does take a little chunk out of your day. You're going to probably wait upwards of 30 minutes, I would say, to meet Mirabelle or more without utilizing a lightning lane that doesn't exist for her. Rapunzel is going to be another one of the princesses back in Fairy Tale Hall. So we mentioned Elena is back there and also Rapunzel. Sometimes the princesses that are in the Fairy Tale Hall are rotating. And like the sideshow circus, it is also split in two directions. So you're usually lining up to meet two or three one way and, two through the other. And so that makes it, the line split a little bit, but you are getting a little more bang for your line, right? You're waiting a long time, but you're meeting multiple. Rapunzel is obviously just so fun, has so much energy when you walk up to her. She can't wait to hear about the adventures you've had in the park that day or the adventures you've had around Disney World. She wants to know about where you got your clothes and if you've done any art lately. She really takes the time to ask your kiddos questions. I brought an entire group of kiddos, mine and their friends, to meet Rapunzel. I think I've even talked about it on the show before, dressed as Rapunzel. And that was just such a fun moment when they were all dressed as Rapunzel. And she really was so kind and took a lot of time to talk with them. And my son was Flynn Rider and he was smoldering and it was just so great. And then, of course, Winnie the Pooh, who is in the thoughtful place, often meeting with Tigger. There is a photo pass and autographs there. Usually he's signing right along with Tigger. They'll sign that same page or side by side. And I mean, does it get friendlier than Winnie the Pooh, the most sensitive character maybe that in the Disney universe?
For being a very quieter character in terms of you don't think he's super high energy, he's just so loving and friendly.
And huggable. He's just a teddy bear. He's so cute. And yeah, I'm sure some of it has to do with just the childhood memories of Winnie the Pooh, but I think he's one of the best.
Yeah. And so for that reason, we are awarding Winnie the Pooh as the friendliest character you can meet in all of Magic Kingdom.
Love it. All right, so we're going to go to Allie's category now. Most likely to succeed. Like, that does not surprise me at all that you won that.
Do you think I could beat all of our nominees too, or would I be?
Oh, wow, what a question. That's hard.
You're one of the most, if not the most successful person I personally know.
That's
so
true.
If we went to high school with these characters, would we just be voted off? Like we wouldn't be in the yearbook anymore.
Well, they're not making a ride around you yet. So maybe you would lose out in this one. So our nominees for most likely to succeed are Tiana, Mulan, and Belle. I love these three choices. I think all three of them kind of stand on their own in terms of they have their own drawing characters. Tiana is also right there in that fairy tale hall. Allie had mentioned how you have the two different lines. It's crazy how different those two different lines can be, though. Like, I just looked at the difference. One side had a 20-minute wait and one side had a 40-minute wait. And so definitely keep that in mind when you're looking at that fairy tale hall princess meet and greet area. Consider a lightning lane if those are high priority for you. They do have the lightning lane. You can get the autographs. And then Mulan is a newer meet and greet up by the train station. And I think that's a great addition. They're getting more characters towards the front of the park. We are the family that does not stop and see characters at the front of the park often because I feel like it's kind of that stop the most productive time of our day in that morning. And so we always come back for characters a little bit later in the day. But Mulan's right there. We're going to talk. We know Mickey Mouse is right there. There's some other ones that we'll talk about as well. And then finally, Belle is in the Enchanted Tales. So you're not getting an autograph there. They're going to offer you a bookmark that has the signature on it. And there is a lightning lane for that attraction. So if seeing Belle, maybe your kiddos will get the chance to go up on stage and be part of the storytelling there. 3 great options for most likely to succeed.
So back to Mulan. My oldest daughter is obsessed with Mulan. And when we were on our spring break trip last year, we were shocked to walk in and there she is meet and greeting. And the line was really short because it was a newer spot at the time. So I guess it's been around just about a year now. It's one of my favorite character pictures that we have of my kids. It was so beautiful. The train was actually pulling into the station. So it's in the background and it's her favorite princess and they're hugging each other. It was really, really a great place to meet her. I loved it. No lightning lane or anything, but it was still, like I said, it was a short wait when we were there. Back to Enchanted Tales with Belle. It is my life's mission at this point to get my twins, my younger kiddos, like just up and in that show with her. Maybe the Beast, because we've talked before about how the Beast gets to dance with Belle and then get some extra time with her at the end. They're the kiddo that gets selected to be the Beast get to be the first one to sit with her or stand with her and have that meet and greet moment. But then the rest of the kids do get to line up and get their photo and their bookmark. And we still have our bookmarks that have Belle's signature on them. But in terms of most likely to succeed, Tiana starts her own business from nothing. Mulan leads an entire country's army. And Belle falls captive to a beast. She does have a library, but I just don't know if she stands up here with the other two.
Most likely to successfully read an entire library's worth of books. Yeah, probably not most likely to succeed. Tiana, I think it's worth noting, sometimes you'll see Tiana other places outside of Fairy Tale Hall as well. Most recently, we were there and we were watching the parade. Like I tell you often that I love watching the parade from Frontierland. We were walking around that corner right there and right across from Liberty Tree, she was up in the window and just waving to people. And there was this cutest little girl dressed up like Tiana. And it was just like melting my heart watching Tiana wave to her and blow her kisses. And the little girl just like swooning over seeing Tiana up in the window. I think for that purpose, like Tiana, we know she's going places. She's getting a ride. She's getting almost an entire area over there. Tiana's the obvious winner here and most
Well,
likely to
and
succeed.
because she's getting that whole new area, it doesn't get more successful than that. It's Disney World, Magic Kingdom, like she wins.
She's wins.
And for
Absolutely.
any smart moms, travel agents listening today, because it's my life's mission to get in Enchanted Tales with Belle, and maybe my kiddos will get to dance with Belle other than just my oldest, our hidden Mickey will be Enchanted. We are going to take a quick break. We are having so much fun assigning these superlatives and hopefully giving you the knowledge you need to meet these characters at Magic Kingdom. Take a quick break. When we come back, we will work our way through.
Are you a dedicated fan of the Smart Moms Plan Disney podcast and feel the need to take notes while listening to each and every episode? Our Diamond Mine Patreon subscription is a perfect fit for you. Every month, our Diamond Mine subscribers receive a new Disney travel guide that simplifies and organizes the podcast content. Join our community at patreon.com and search for Smart Moms Plan Disney podcast. Joining our Patreon supports our woman-owned small businesses and allows you more simplicity and support in planning your next Disney vacation. Join us at patreon.com and we'll see you there.
All right, we are back and we're having some fun with the characters in Magic Kingdom today, assigning them some superlatives. Maybe you want a superlative in your yearbook. Let us know if you think you would have beat any of these characters in their categories. That would be fun. And we are moving right on. I'm so excited about this next category. Stacy, let's hear it.
Yes, I think this is my favorite one we're going to talk about. This is the most sassy character. And I think this is really fun because there's something about a meet and greet when you laugh, when you have a little chuckle at the way the characters are interacting with you. You know, these make for great little video interactions. They're a lot of fun. So we're going to start with Daisy. If you have ever seen Daisy walking around the park, let me tell you about a strut. That girl is working it, and she is so super fun. Now, she is back in Pete's Silly Sideshow at Magic Kingdom. She will do the autographs. She does have the little photo box there as well. And she is dressed as a fortune teller back there, and she looks really super cool. But if you've seen her anywhere else, you know, she's just really a lot of fun. She kind of dances around and stuff. So we have to definitely have her in this category for most sassy. Our next contestant is Buzz Lightyear, who will be seen in Tomorrowland. He does have a photo pass whenever he's set up, but what's fun about him is he gives out stamps. Instead of doing autographs, he has little stickers and stamps he might give out. And we have him in here because, duh,
he is Mrs. Nesbit.
So really we added him because we all could not help but chuckle at him and in his movie where he is, I'm Mrs. Nesbit.
and he Spanish Buzz when he learns all the dance moves and dances with Jesse.
Yes.
I mean, this is a sassy guy.
He is. He's so super funny. Oh my goodness. We have laughed at putting him in this category. And third, we have Cinderella's stepsisters, Anastasia and Drizella. Though, if you have not seen these characters at the Magic Kingdom, you really need to take the effort to find them because they are hilarious. It's really super fun to run across them. They're even fun when they're in the parade. Like they'll be very quickly witty with you as they're going through the parade. They're super fun. And for this reason, we have picked them as the winners of this category. You can find them over at the Cinderella Fountain to the right of Cinderella's castle as you're walking down Main Street. There's usually not going to be a cast member there taking photographs, but the interaction with them is so super fun. Have y'all had any funny stories with the stepsisters?
It goes back to what I said, right? You would think that everybody's just friendly, but the thing that makes them the most fun is that they're not. And you could just be walking by and they'll slam you in some way. You know what I mean? It's hilarious. And maybe you weren't planning on stopping, but they'll say something to you and you immediately want to turn around and interact with them. Their official location, I believe, is that fountain, and you can sometimes even find them outside of the fairy tale hall where the princesses are, just sort of behind a rope. That's when they're kind of the funniest, I think, because people aren't really lined up to see them. They're just sort of talking smack as you walk by, but it's like Disney level. It's like Disney level talking smack, right? So it's still, it's all pretty innocent and funny. But I love that they're there. You know, I don't know that Cinderella at this point is not really in our rotation of movies. And so my kids don't necessarily just know who they are. And so I love that they're there and that Disney still finds it to be not only a funny and important meet and greet, but a relevant one. I think it's hilarious.
We've seen them riding the carousel together. And I think their interactions with each other is almost just as impressive as when they're interacting with people. Like they are on point with their roasting of people who are walking by. They're just the best. They're so sassy.
So funny.
So funny.
Yeah, I think, like I said, a lot of people going probably aren't, you hear people all the time. My kiddo loves Stitch. Where can I meet him? My kiddo loves Mirabelle. Where can I meet her? You don't really ever hear, my kiddos love Anastasia and Drizella. Where can you meet them? But I think it's important you try to make a moment, like find the time to experience that interaction because it is so silly. So that's going to move us to our next category here. Our next category is going to be the most likely to be late. And I'm excited to award this one. Our nominees for character meet and greets that you can see in Magic Kingdom, they won't be late to their character meet and greet, are Ariel, Alice, and Cinderella. So Ariel is a really fun meet and greet in Magic Kingdom because she's meeting in her grotto. So she is in her fins, she does not have her legs as she is meeting in the grotto, which is really beautiful. I like when the characters are meeting in their personal space, kind of like I was saying for Mirabelle. I love that she's in her fins. I think it's really special because when you meet her at a meal or in any other circumstance, she has her legs. And so I love meeting her as a mermaid back in her grotto. It's just really special. She does sign autographs. She does have a lightning lane, which is really important. She is one that you can pre-plan because her line gets very, very long. And there is a photo pass photographer back there. So if you have Memory Maker, and again, all these ones that we are saying have a photo box or a photo pass photographer, those are the pictures that are going to go to your app. Make sure you think about getting that Memory Maker because, these are the special pictures that you're taking home as lifelong souvenirs, right? Obviously, the reason these characters are in the running, first of all, Ariel doesn't know if she's got fins or legs. She doesn't know if she's supposed to be at the family dinner under the sea or the family dinner up on land. She doesn't even ever make it to the show that she's supposed to perform for King Triton. She's just all over the place. And she also doesn't care. She does not care that the family lives in the water and she's got legs. She does not care if she's there on time. She is going to be late. You can expect it. She's that friend that you probably have to tell them to show up like 30 minutes prior to when they actually have to be there just to make sure that they're on time.
Absolutely.
Alice does not have a formal meet and greet currently in Magic Kingdom anymore. Sometimes you can find her over by the teacups. And so for that reason, we still included her on the list. But she's one that I would say is more inconsistent that I would not count on. But if you do happen to see her in Fantasyland over by the teacups, that's great. She's running after that silly rabbit. She needs a watch of her own. She's always late. And Cinderella. Obviously, Cinderella's whole deal with the clock. We're giving the most likely to be late to Ariel because she lives in two universes. She does not care, and she's guaranteed to be late.
I love it. And I also love that we now have both versions of Ariel. We have the animated in Magic Kingdom, and then we have the live action Ariel you can meet over in Hollywood Studios. I love Ariel. She's great.
Yeah. And I don't think I mentioned Cinderella is in the fairy tale hall. She's the other princess that's back there. We've talked about Tiana, Elena, and Rapunzel. She has the lightning lane, the autographs, and the photo box just as they do. And she kind of rounds out that rotation of princesses there.
Very good. All right. Moving on to our next category with most likely to get in trouble. This just seems silly to me because you think characters getting in trouble, but these particular characters really play up the mischievous side of characters. So our first nominee is Captain Jack. He is over in Adventureland by Pirates, Donald Duck in Pete's Silly Sideshow, Peter Pan and Wendy, who don't necessarily have a meeting place but are wandering, and the Beast at Be Our Guest. Have any of you had any great stories with any of these ones? They are very mischievous.
I haven't met these characters personally in Magic Kingdom outside of the Beast. He used to do a meet and greet at Be Our Guest dinner. You used to be able to go get your picture with him. You cannot anymore. He just walked through. And that was really fun when we got to do that. But it's not happening anymore. And Wendy is usually not with Peter anymore. But when Peter is meeting, you can find him under that Neverland map that's over by the Peter Pan's Flight attraction. But I don't have anything amazing like you, Becki. Gosh.
Our Peter Pan experience. I have multiple amazing experiences with Peter Pan. So our very first great experience with Peter Pan was we were on Main Street. Because he wanders a lot. If he has a meet and greet space, that's great. But I think it speaks to the mischievous, charismatic, free spirit of Peter Pan that you'll see him all over the place and just wandering. He's not stopping and signing signing autographs on a regular basis, unless, of course, he's positioned at a place for the time frame. But we met him on Main Street, and there was this long line trying to get him to take a picture, and we were all just kind of following him around like this trail down Main Street. And one girl was like sobbing because she loved Peter Pan so much, and she was right in front of us. And he's like, "Okay, I'll sign it for you if you turn around." And so she turned around, and he was like signing on her back, her character book. And then she's like, "Okay," and then hugs him for a long time and turns around, is walking down Main Street, and he's yelling down the street, "Bye!" And then she turns around and waves. And then she keeps walking, and he's saying again, "Bye, bye." Like he did it for like 5 minutes all the way down Main Street. So great there. And then, of course, he caught our kids in kind of by Sir Mickey's, and he took them on a walk over to the wishing well. And I do have video of this. We should share it on our social media. It is priceless. He took the three of them. He went and picked flowers. What a mischievous little character he is. He gave them petals, and they made wishes into the wishing well together. He's just such a good character.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, he is mischievous, though. He literally talked 3 children into running away from home and leaving town without their parents knowing.
That's definitely why he is in this category for sure. Yeah, I really enjoy Captain Jack. He is one of my favorites to interact with. He's probably been in the rum a little. So he's really funny. He's one that will kind of talk smack with you a little bit as well. My youngest son is named after Captain Jack Sparrow. So I just have a special place in my heart for him anyway. But, his interaction over in Adventureland by the pirates, he's usually either up on that little stage area or somewhere nearby. And he is going to try to get you in trouble. He's one.
He's Disney level of no filter.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. He is wanting to find some way to get you into trouble, and I think he's a great nominee for our category here.
Yeah, and because of that, he's a great interaction over in Adventureland, and because of Captain Jack's just unique spirit, he is our winner for most likely to get in trouble.
He's pretty funny. He's great. We're gonna take one more quick break, and then we're gonna close out our superlatives here.
Hey, wait. I know you're ready to get back to the podcast, but I've got something very simple for you to do. Join my Facebook group, Disney Planning Made Simple. I'm Stacy, one of your podcast hosts, and I have a sweet, friendly Facebook group made for those of us who thrive in the simple pleasures of life, things like family, food, and Disney. Join at facebook.com/groups/Disney Made Simple, or follow with the link in the show notes. We'll be so happy to see you there.
Hey there, friends. I'm Katie Boone, one of your podcast co-hosts. I'd love to invite you to join my Facebook Disney planning community called Planning Disney with Babies, Toddlers, and Preschoolers. In my group, I love discussing all the aspects of planning your magical vacation with little ones. Find my community at facebook.com/groups/Plan Disney with Little Ones. Again, that's facebook.com/groups/Plan Disney with Little Ones. When you join, don't forget to tell me you heard about my group on the podcast. See you there.
All right, welcome back. We have just one more category to go. I want to do a little recap. We've given out superlatives, talked about where you can meet different characters in the park. For Best Dressed, we gave that to Elena of Avalor. You can meet her in the Fairy Tale Hall. You can use a lightning lane. You can get her autograph. She's gorgeous. Life of the Party went to Stitch, who you will find in Tomorrowland, often on the stage, sometimes walking around. He does not do photo passes. Sometimes you'll get an autograph. Mostly he is just about an experience. For most Disney spirit, of course, that went to the man himself, Mickey Mouse. Main Street, Town Square, Theater. He, just like Elena, does have a lightning lane. He has a photo box for a memory maker photo, and he does sign autographs. He's like the must-do, right? Friendliest character we awarded to Winnie the Pooh, where you can find him back in the thoughtful place, back by his Pooh's Great Adventure attraction, sort of across from the teacups. He does have a photo pass. He does sign autographs. He does not have a lightning lane. Most likely to succeed went to Tiana. Started her own business. She's getting her own land or area of the land, attraction, restaurant, you name it. She's got it all going for her. She's also in Fairy Tale Hall, autographs. memory maker, lightning lane, all the things. Most sassy went to the stepsisters. The character meet and greet you probably didn't know that you needed in your life. They're very funny if you can happen upon them or plan for them. They'll sign autographs and also take photos. Most likely to be late, we awarded to Ariel in her grotto mermaid form. She's got her fins on. You can get a lightning lane. She is just the total package. Nostalgia. Your kids will love her. You'll love her. She's so great. And the most likely to get in trouble just went to Captain Jack Sparrow, who has had too much rum and has no filter. So that's going to bring us here to our very last category. Stacy, you do it.
All right. Our last category is the most outdoorsy. Now, this is one that I think we have an interesting mix of characters here. We've got the country bears who, bless them, they've not really had a very big attraction here lately until we find out that their attraction is closing. And then we have an overwhelming number of people who want to go see the country bears. Yeah. But their attraction is closed right now as we're recording because they are about to have a reimagined attraction. They're going to have it's a little show type experience. It's going to be very Nashville based with a lot of the country music. I think the updating is going to be a little more modern country sound to it, which is going to really be kind of fun. But more than just in their attraction, they are roaming around. I think I probably see the country bears just about as much as I see anybody. I feel like I see them most frequently. They are roaming around in the Frontierland area, but you can definitely just take your photo with them with your own camera. There's not a photo pass. There's not a memory maker photographer with them, but they're super fun. There's 3 of them. And then, like I said, we're doing them with the most outdoorsy. Obviously, they're bears. They're definitely in the running for the most outdoorsy. And then we have Snow White, who is wandering the forest and she's interacting with all of the animals. We wanted to put Snow White in this category. She's lovely. She is in the town square side patio and will do autographs. And there is usually a photo pass photographer with her. There's a memory maker photographer, but we definitely wanted to include her in this category. And then we also have Merida. Now, Merida kind of had to get moved out when we brought in Mirabelle to the little location to the right of the castle. And now she is Liberty Square. Not quite as easy to find. I think she's still such an excellent character to meet. I know, Becki, you have some feelings on Merida. She is your favorite, right?
She is my favorite princess. And I cannot believe that they did not call me and ask my permission before moving her out of her area. I feel like that cave was perfect. I call it a cave, but just where she used to meet was like perfect for that Scottish feel. Of course, it's fantastic being changed over to Encanto, but Merida, she's so friendly. She's so happy. Her accent is amazing. I Disney bounded on as her and she saw me in line and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you're dressed up like me." It was perfect. I love Merida as a character and that hair. Maybe it's just pulling on me on my Macy heart. Like my oldest has that wild red, crazy curly hair. And so she's amazing. Not gone. At least they didn't take her away completely. Like there's still a chance.
Yeah, I have a good memory of meeting her with you and waiting in that long lines. And I agree with you. I'm glad she's still there. The country bears are silly to me. I mean, we literally never stop to meet them. And I can't say that I'm definitely going to go see. I mean, I'll go see the new show because it'll be new, I guess. But I didn't see the old show.
Oh, wow.
Ever?
No.
Oh, well, is it something about shows in Magic Kingdom you don't love? Because you still haven't seen Philhar Magic yet either, have you?
You guys are really outing me right now.
Yes.
two things that Allie's never done. And maybe at this point she's like, I refuse. I'm never going to do it.
Yeah, maybe I'm just taking a stand at this point and I just won't do it. Okay. Who's the most outdoorsy?
And we did mention, of course, obviously Merida with her incredible archery skills. And, well, she has definitely had a bear encounter herself, hasn't she?
Yeah.
So, but of course, for the most outdoorsy, we're going to go with the country bears. Come on. Of course, they're going to win this one. Sorry, Allie.
No, I agree. They are the most outdoorsy. They can win. They live outside. They're bears. They win. It's just I can't say it's the one I'm going to rush to out of all the ones we talked about today.
That's fine.
Magic Kingdom is, like I said, it's so fun for classic characters. And I really hope that this gave listeners some great insight on where you're going to find them. It's important that you're using the app. That is how you function throughout your day, right? If there's going to be any changes, what time are they going to be there? But at least this gives you an idea of who and where. If you don't want to wait in line for some of the characters, remember Magic Kingdom has Cinderella's Royal Table with rotating princesses. Definitely Cinderella is there, but you can find other really classic. A lot of times Sleeping Beauty is there, Snow White. We've seen Jasmine there. And they do not tell you who's going to be there so that they can keep it a fluid rotation if they would like. That's always a great option. And of course, Crystal Palace with Pooh, Eeyore, Piglet, and Tigger. If you don't want to wait for the thoughtful place or you're wanting to meet more than just Pooh and Tigger, that's a great way to meet all four without lines. So character meals, always a good idea within the parks. And you're going to meet some classics at Magic Kingdom. Well, that's going to do it for us today on the Smart Moms Plan Disney podcast. I would love to hear if we got it wrong, in your opinion. If you think someone is friendlier or funnier or sassier, let us know. Of course, we're always looking for feedback and we're always looking to hear what you think. Your feedback, your thoughts are important to us. So find us on social media at Smart Moms Plan Disney Podcast or join our Patreon community where you can find the link in the show notes so we can get connected and continue talking about today's episode. Reminder, if you haven't already, go click that link for our mailbag episode. Let us know what you bring to the park. Maybe your helpful tip can help a listener. A funny story, sometime that you were saved by in your park bag. We want to hear about it. We might share it on air. And of course, leave us a 5-star review. 5-star rating and review helps us so much, takes very little of your time. Recently, Kay Honey left us a review and said, I started listening last year before our first family vacation to Disney, and it was so helpful. I felt like I had a better lay of the land and was able to navigate my family through our trip. Since our trip was such a success, we are planning our next vacation, and I upped my game by getting a Smart Moms travel agent. Shout out to Devin, her travel agent, to help plan our October 2025 trip. Easy listen, wonderful advice. Well, we love that, Kay Honey, and anybody that's listening, if you want to up your game, make sure you fill out the link in our bio, get connected with a Smart Moms travel agent and podcast co-host. We would love to help you plan. If you liked this episode and you feel great about the character meet and greets you can find in Magic Kingdom, you might also enjoy character meals ranked. Talked about a couple of character meals you can find here in Magic Kingdom. That episode talks about where you may be able to find them elsewhere throughout Disney World, and the Magic Kingdom itinerary episode. You can find those back in our feed, as well as some other really helpful episodes. So until next time, we'll see you real soon.